What's up, Maniac Nation? I had to bush hog everything at my house finally. I was able to bush hog it dried up enough. I'm filthy, but everything got bush hogged, and I was able to get back to my elderberries. And check it out, it's right on time. I got elderberries galore. I mean, this tree is slap full of elderberry, but look up there. Whoa, I mean, they're everywhere, y'all. It's just piles and piles and piles of elderberry. So we'll be getting a whole bunch of those down. We may freeze some for other purposes, but mainly we'd like to cook them down and make some cough syrups. And, you know, it's good for just to take for allergies as well. There are some trees still standing like little bushes or whatever. That's because there's stumps in them. I have quite a few of those because, well, I cut a lot of trees. I pushed a lot of trees. I wanted to make this big field here, not trying to get nobody drunk, but I would like to have sheep one day. And this field is pretty good size. And without having to bother any of the habitat up there, I mean, I don't know, 2 acres probably, acre and a half, something like that. I mean, it's quite a bit. It's probably more than that. But I do plan on going inside here as money gets better. I will start clearing out my woods, and if I ever get time off, I work 6 days a week usually. I'm going to clear off all down in those woods and up the hillside where my line actually ends, and I will be able to run hopefully one day, not right now, pigs, maybe cows. Hey, you never know. But budget your money and only buy as you go. As your budget gets better, go get you something. And as you budget well, you can afford that animal. But if you just go and buy a whole bunch of things, you're going to be in a mess, y'all. So make sure whatever you buy, start small, budget your money, make sure that you can afford that animal and how many of them you can afford. That way you don't get yourself in a big old mess. So that's just your little tip from old boy Maniac. If anybody knows about the old Watermelon Valley, I wasn't able to do what I need to do. However, I have a lot of watermelons growing. Watermelons, more watermelons, big watermelon back there. Quite a few Clay County yellow meats over here. More Clay County yellow meats right here and right here. And then we got Crimson Sweets. You can't see them, but if you'll see the holes I knocked in the grass, that's where all the watermelons are. I could have got in here and weeded it out, but I ain't had time, y'all. I've been at work, so don't get too mad. Then as you come down this way, you can't really see sugar babies because they're like this weird blackish green color, but there are quite a few sugar babies here, and I picked some on this row. Let's see if we can find any more on this row. There is one right there. See that color? It's like very deep green. Yes, y'all, it has grown up, but by keeping all this grass cut, I might have picked all of them on this row, but I know there's one right there. See it? And there's one right there. And there's actually a lot more. I think there's 10 or 11, but they're so hard to see right now because of all the grass. But I had to bush hog as much as I could bush hog, but I couldn't bush hog in my watermelon patch. So it grows up. I don't want to weed eat it or nothing because we have fresh vines shooting out. See that vine right there? New vines means new watermelons. And I try to check on them as much as possible. When I see a bad end, like sometimes the end will get black. Some people call it, what is that, blossom end rot or some crap like that. But sometimes it's just a bad spot on the watermelon, too much water, or something bit it. I mean, there's numerous amount of things. But before you throw that watermelon away, take a knife, cut all the way around the bad spot, you know, about 2-3 inches away from it. I bet you the rest of that watermelon is still good if it was ripe at that time. But as you see, we're on the back side, and boy, howdy, do you see all the watermelons? Yes, sir. This is Maniac's favorite thing to eat. That's why I grew such an array of watermelons. I actually have Georgia rattlesnakes, crimson sweets, jubilees, sugar babies. I actually have watermelons over here on the garden. It's right through there. It's got Stone Mountain watermelons. I actually got to try one. They don't grow real big, like a pound, maybe 2. And I actually got to eat 2 today with my kids. And y'all, those things are awesome. You're not gonna get a whole lot of watermelon, but the little serving size for your kids, they love it. The flavor was amazing. But no fruit trees are producing anything except for my crab apples. Crab apples are happening right now. And I have picked all the grapes off of my grapevines. I have been eating a ton of grapes. I've been eating raspberries till I'm sick of raspberries. I do have garden huckleberries that are growing down here. They've already actually produced. I planted a bunch of them just to see if any would survive. I have some. I'll show them now. And Miss Alita's gourds have overgrown, y'all, like crazy. But she has some beautiful gourds in here. I don't know what I can and can't step on, but I don't really care because we have a ton of gourds, y'all. Look at this. Everywhere you look, there is a ton of gourds. Tons and tons. I mean, it's everywhere. I asked her to let me cut them down and just get the gourds out. But knowing my wife, little greedy thing, she's like, no, I'm going to get all the gourds I can get. But y'all, this is a lot of the vine, plus that, I don't know what you call this, milkweed or whatever crap right here. I don't know what that is. But look at all the gourds. I mean, they're just everywhere in here. It is unbelievable. If you'll notice right here, garden huckleberries, y'all, look, we even got some that's already ripe. They've already went through the shiny stage. Now they're in the dull black stage. You only want to eat them in the dull black stage because they'll make you sick, y'all, extremely. And that's why your boy Maniac planted these garden huckleberries so far from where I live, because I don't want my kids down here. We're actually over here in the corner where, see, there's the whole front way out there. We're actually in the corner where the gourds are. I really wanted to go ahead and get all this cleaned up for deer season, but my wife wants me to wait a little bit. So hopefully the lawnmower cut it, but then again, maybe my good old Mr. CJ will let me borrow his bush hog just for that little bit of bush hogging out there. Then again, I probably could. No, we're gonna need a tractor. That's a big old spot. I done worked with a bush hook and a sling blade till I'm give out. But I appreciate it. I enjoy having them. It's good exercise. Since I've started my new job, I've lost a ton of weight. I used to weigh like 327-ish pounds. Now I weigh 275. So we getting it done, y'all. We getting it in. My wood chip piles have about just, it's like they've been eradicated, but we do use a lot of them. I got to put wood chips in Gerald Paul's pen and keep that pen, piling up with the wood chips. And then next summer we'll dig out Gerald Paul's purple coot right here, and we'll have a ton of really good compost / mulch, but we'll probably mix it together and let it compost down a little bit more before we do that over the winter. But yeah, I have been busy. Everything got bush hogged in the front as well. And the ducks can see, like I was telling y'all, the ducks have nothing inside their pen, but boy, did it grow up outside the pen because we've had a ton of rain. I've missed each and every one of y'all. I appreciate all the comments, the questions, where I've been, am I okay? Yes, but when I started that new job, then I changed positions, might as well say a promotion, because it was a whole lot better. But it involves a lot more work and a lot more hours. But I work for some really awesome people, and it makes it so much easier to show up for work when you work, for people like that. Actually have a lot more Bob Whites. Bob White quails have grown. Actually, all these right here are Bob White babies that I need to add into that pen once they get big enough. So there's all my Bob White babies right there. But y'all, I have learned they are extremely brutal. You would not believe how brutal they are. They're worse than any quail I've ever raised, ever. I mean, they're very bad. You're going to come out here, you're going to find quail almost every 2 days. You'll find them. Coturnics, you might find 1 or 2 here and there, but that'd be about it. But I actually see a Bob White in there, another Bob White. So this must be the babies Miss Alita just put out here. And then, you know, I'm going to have my breeders in Quail here. And these are the ones I take to market. It is quite a bit of quail in this one. Some people really enjoy seeing them. I like to show them. There's an Italian white. But those are the ones that I've been taking to the market. So my wife has birds and animals she likes to take to the market, and then I have mine as well. And well, I mean, I'm pretty good at raising quail and bobwhite quail. So, I mean, I figured it out very well years ago, and we're still laying them out. You hear them talking, they talking about Maniac's the bomb. You hear that? But I built that for my wife. It's got the truck tarp on top. I made a short for it, but I really enjoy it. I don't know why. My wife is a crazy hoarder. She's keeping all these plastic bags, but she uses them for tarps. Like whenever we're going to trade days and stuff like that, she takes the feed bags and puts them on top, and it waterproofs the cage right then because she can lay stuff on it. But she actually has her American breast market birds in there, cuckoo malines in there, and we have a new guest. Got a new duck. We have 2 Peking, 1 male, 1 female. And yes, we are still going to breed a special duck. It will strictly be a meat duck, and it takes that duck to make that duck after you breed it into a certain bird. So we will be breeding that to bring something new and strictly just an awesome meat bird to this farm just for my family. It won't be nothing we'll be selling. It'll mainly be just for us. But I mean, if people ask for it at trade day, I mean, we might make a few, you know, and take them out there. We've been growing, Miss Alita grew me my own jalapenos. Y'all don't know if it's the sand. I made a video about it last year. We can grow some of the hottest peppers you've ever eaten in your life. Jalapenos ain't even really that hot. But on this ground, whoo. And I like hot stuff. So I have really enjoyed our jalapenos so much. I miss each and every one of y'all. And I'm sorry the video took so long, y'all. And it's taking long now. But we're going to remove Lop Ear. This is his last film, probably, till the next weekend. And it'll be curtains for him. My wife wants to rid us of this very irritated, biting rabbit here. She is going to have to go. And sad but true, Miss Florette here. This is her last year on the farm. And we have the female in here. Just a little sneak peek. This ain't on TikTok or Facebook. That rabbit will be taking her place. And she is gorgeous. It is one of her babies. And it is a New Zealand mixed with a silver fox. I like to raise nothing but meat rabbits. I like the size of the silver fox mixed with the New Zealand. And yes, I still have New Zealands. Romeo, I think we're going to keep Romeo for a little bit. At least one more year. Philip ain't going nowhere. He's doing awesome. And then we have our little babies here that are true New Zealand, full-blooded, as you see, red eyes. And then we have Philip's kids, which you can barely see. Let's shed some light on y'all. Look how pretty y'all. Ain't they gorgeous? Ain't they gorgeous? And then I have my wife's nuisance right here. African geese, y'all. They're good watchdogs. I'll tell you that. They are definitely good watchdogs. And I love them. We'll be getting eggs next year. Can't wait for that. We'll be raising them and selling them. Our Plymouth Rocks are still in the front because I have to make a pen for them next weekend. The American breasts need to be moved on this garden spot as we usually do next weekend. My chocolate turkey and my bourbon, it's a chocolate hen and a bourbon red gobbler. I'm gonna breed them together. I don't have a full-blooded chocolate male. I do have a full-blooded female, but I don't really care, y'all. I just like growing things that taste really good. They're fun to raise. They live a fun life. Until that one bad day at supper time, y'all. Till next time, I'm your boy Maniac. We out.